Hi guys, for today's video, I will be making entomatadas. This is a Mexican recipe, but not to be confused with enchiladas. They are similar, but entomatadas are covered in a tomatoes type sauce, and you can serve them any time of the day. They're savory and satisfying, and it's a good recipe for busy moms to have in your rotation. And be prepared to make a lot because they're that good. In my pot here, I'm going to use 5 Roma tomatoes, and I'm going to make an X in it just like this because I'm going to remove the skin. So that way after it boils and it gets soft, it'll just be easy to peel the skin back. So there's 5, and you want just enough water to cover the tomatoes. I'm going to add in 1 garlic clove, a small chile serrano. You can make this as mild or as spicy as you like, and about 1/4 of an onion. So I'm just going to wait for this to come to a boil. All right, so now I'm going to lower my temperature to low, and I'm just going to let it continue cooking like that for 10 minutes. So now after 10 minutes, to my blender, I'm going to take out the onion, the garlic clove, my serrano chile, and if you can see here, I'm just going to pull the skin off with my tongs, and it comes off real easy by making that X. So I'm going to continue removing the skin off of all the tomatoes and add them to my blender. And now to my blender, I have 1/2 cup of the water that I boiled the tomatoes in. I'm going to add that in. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. Just take it like that in your palm of your hands, rub it back and forth, drop it in. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon of this. And guys, can someone comment? I think I've been pronouncing this wrong. I looked at it the other day and I've been saying bouillon. I don't think that's how you say it. Is it bouillon? I'm like, all this time, this is my favorite. I prefer this over salt. No wonder Nor hasn't sponsored me already. So 1 tablespoon of that. And now I'm just going to blend this up. And it's nice and blended. So now I'm going to get this over to the stove. I have my skillet here on medium, and I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Swirl that around the pan. And now I'm going to pour my mixture in here. And now I'm going to taste it and see if it has enough seasoning. Now I'm afraid to say bouillon, I don't even know. Let me give it a quick taste. That is perfect. So now that it's starting to boil, I'm going to put on low, and I'm just going to let it continue simmering like this for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to get started on the next ingredient. Here I have about 5 tablespoons of chopped onion. There's really no exact measurement for how much onion you need for this part. If you or someone in your family doesn't like onion, then just skip this step. And here I have some chopped cilantro. Again, if you don't care for this, you don't have to add it. But if you're like me and you love it, add as much as your heart tells you because there's really no exact amount that you need. I have 12 ounces of queso fresco, and as you can see over here, I mixed the cilantro and the onion. So with my impeccably clean hands, I'm going to crumble the cheese and add it to this mixture. I transferred it to a bowl, and it should look something like this. My mixture here has been patiently waiting for me. I still have it on simmer. So now I am ready for the last and final step. So I'm going to use my comal, and you can use a skillet if you want, a griddle. So now I'm just going to let this, I'm going to raise my temperature, let this get hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush some cooking oil on my corn tortilla because I just don't want to use that much oil. That way I can at least control how much I'm using. So I'm just going to brush this on. You don't have to do this. This is just me being extra. You can use like a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, put it in the pan. We're just going to let each side cook for about 30 to 35 seconds. So my comal is hot. I'm going to brush the other side with oil. You just want them to be nice and soft. So now I'm going to flip them, been about 30 seconds. So here I have a plate with a paper towel so I can just put them over here once they're done. Okay, now that my corn tortillas are done, I'm going to take one and I'm going to dip it here in the sauce, just like that. Place it on my plate. I'm going to take my queso fresco mixture and I'm going to add it in here. Now you can roll these up like enchiladas, but I'm going to fold it in half, just like this. Now I'm going to continue with the other two, just like this. So you take some of your warm mixture and you pour that right on top. Just like that. Now let me show you the toppings that you can add to this. You add some shredded lettuce. You take some crema mexicana and just pour that right on top, or drizzle it right on top. Just like that. And you add some avocado or aguacate right there. And here you have entomatadas. So now it's time for me to dig in, but before I do, I just want to say that the tomatoes that I used, they were on the smaller side. So depending on the type of tomato you use, I used Roma, and the size, that will determine on how much sauce that this is going to make. But this is such a versatile recipe. You cannot mess it up. Mm-mm-mm. Let me get some of that avocado, or in Spanish, aguacate. It has just the perfect amount of everything. It's not too spicy. It just has that fresh tomatoey flavor. So definitely give this recipe a try. And that's the video for today, guys. And as always, if you're cooking with Trish, you know it's delish. And on that note, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.